imagine that we are in 2035. And I want you to choose between two options. Raise your hand if you think the world looks like A, where we design a human-centric approach, and AI is a tool that is helping us solve our most pressing challenges. Now raise your hand if you think we design B, where everything is automated, robots are everywhere, and algorithms make decisions we don't understand. Our choices are between utopia and dystopia. Welcome to the AI race. I'm sure you have heard that we need to get to artificial general intelligence as soon as possible. Because if we don't, someone else will build it. And we don't know what are the consequences of that. This is inevitable. And we can't afford to be left behind. This is just how the future is going to be. But don't worry, because thanks to AI, you will have so much free time, and you will enjoy it very healthy thinking about them. For now, I want you to stop and think, and see the questions that are coming to your mind. And also, what assumptions have to be made to come to that conclusion. This should bring us to a question, not only what we're building, but why we're building AI and how we're building it. And this brings us to the responsible AI topic. I have another survey for you. Raise your hand if you think responsible AI is A, regulation, slower innovation, compliance, governance, risk mitigation, and good to have but not critical. Now raise your hand if you think it's B, responsible AI is iterative, human-centered, sustainable, innovation leading, participatory, and voluntary. This race is bringing us to ethical choosing between two different choices, sometimes very opposing choices. But life and decisions are not black and white. They are a range of choices, but we're in a race. That's a toxic autonomy, maybe, but we have to embrace it, because otherwise, we might be left behind. Someone else might build it and still in the market. In my experience working with technology companies for more than a decade, I have seen that the choices are not black and white, and the companies and individuals and teams that stop and think and ask the right questions are the ones that are building more sustainable innovation, that are building trust and transparency. Which brings me to designing the future is not A and B. It's not responsibility of fintech companies, of few teams. Designing the future starts with everyone. The thing is that we are at an inflection point. The decisions we make today will shape generations to come. So this is not a nice to have question. And the trajectory of AI is not A or B, it's not Rethinking or dystopia. It's a series of decisions I take today. Not they take today, everyone takes today. And in this race, we're faced with some narratives and some human choices. The universal basic income. Yes, we will have income, but life and work is more than income. We need empowerment, we need agency. Life and work is meaning, is fulfilling. That's another fallacy. Technology is a tool, don't worry. AI is just a tool, but there's a human choice behind AI. Every tool carries the values and the design choices of the people that build. But don't worry, if we are efficient, we're going to get to progress faster, and everyone will have better quality of life. But progress, without understanding values, dignity, and transparency, could extend the unintended consequences faster. And the last one is that to measure progress is not efficiency, only adding. To measure progress is humanity together. And the thing is that we hope that this is inevitable, but as we saw, there is no A or E. There are decisions we take every day, the questions we decide to ask, and the questions we decide to ignore. And looking across my experience and the patterns that I'm seeing that we are really AI backwards. We're trying to fit people to AI instead of designing AI for people. We are building models first instead of human first. Companies that implement human-centered design and responsible AI are seeing 30% more profit. And teams are more engaged and users adopt their tools more than the ones that are just racing to get there. I believe the future, and that's what I'm working on, of AI is responsible AI and human-centric. It's human first, model second. And that's what I'm building. We are in AI. I'm on a mission to make responsible AI from this theory that is sitting on a desk to practical implementation in teams from the beginning in the decision making where the right questions need to be asked. We are not designing for people. I want to design with people. But this doesn't happen just by talking about it and giving you a nice thought about it. This happens by creating pathways every single day. And if we're in the alignment, we're getting four pathways for the future to happen. The first one is moving from theory to practice. Governance tools act after the fact when the problems are already in the surface. And responsible AI frameworks is on a desk and no one looks at. We want to change that. We want to empower individuals and organizations to embed responsible AI and human-centered design right at the decision-making, at the implementation, and at the development stage. How do we do that? We need to build leadership, and we need to build transformation in the organization. Not profit first, but people first. We need to help them understand that when we put people at the center of what we're doing, we're not only profitable, but we build breakthrough and sustainable innovation. We're in AI. I created a framework, and I'm building an ecosystem not only of tools, but resources. And it's not only for the CTO of a company, it's not only for the developers, it's for all of us. I want to empower every single person. And that comes with learning and capability building. We cannot build something we don't understand. We cannot just only train people, upskill people to use AI. We need to train people to understand how AI works, what are the choices behind the model, what are the choices behind the algorithm. And that doesn't happen by speaking about it. That happens by learning by doing. That's one of the other approaches that we're doing. And the last one is we want to create impact. This future, as I said, is not for one company to design, but for all of us. So we are creating forums, panels, and talk house where we are bringing people together to discuss what in the future that we want to see and how we're going to build it. We are in AI framework, 10 years of experience working with tech companies and team building innovation initiatives, and it's proven because it's based on systems and frameworks that work, human-centered design, agile, which is another part that is missing in this equation. The last thing I want to say is that this is not a talk. It's a call to action. A call to action for every one of you. A call to action to renew our understanding and design the future intentionally with the actions we choose, with the priorities we decide, with the investments we decide to make as company, as an organization. Because when it's 2035, I hope you can say, I stand there and I design the future I want to see. We cannot explore to build a future without the people that is going to live with it. So that's not ideation, that's good design. Thank you so much.